Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ball Not Court podcast host Cortez Paul, along with my co-host Kevin Carter. I want to thank you folks for tuning in today and listening to the show. Basically, we cover basketball, football, NCAA, or anything that's related to current events with a humorous twist to it, at least. You can follow the podcast at BIOC Podcast at X or Twitter. We're also on Instagram at the same name, BIOC Podcast. You go to our YouTube channel, that's also BIOC Podcast. Our Facebook page is Balls Not Court Podcast. So if you could please just give us a like, shout, comment on any of those, and definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Balls Not Court Podcast. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Ball Not Court podcast. Cortez Paul is here. Mr. Paul Mack is joining us as well. Tom Childs is here.
You already know.
Brad Renner joining us as well. So, gentlemen, to start with Paul, how you doing on this fantastic Thursday evening, sir?
I was doing fine, but you know, we'll get to it later. It's fine. It is what it is.
Oh yeah, we go out the air and talking about parlays.
Why are we playing basketball? Why are we playing basketball in Paris? What are we doing?
Well, there's my naysayers in Paris. We're according to the new saying in 2024. My naysayers.
It sounds like somebody been around strippers. That's a pimp saying.
Oh yeah. So
looks like Cortez spent some time up the street from the 19th hole.
Exactly. When Cortez start going, bitch, I'm be like, hey.
Tito Tez in effect right now.
He watched too much of that. He watched too much of that Cat Williams interview.
Star Vines out. Mr. Tom, how you doing this evening, sir?
Well, I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank you guys for having me back on this BIOC podcast. I got Paul Mack and Cheese. I got B-Rad. I'm gonna tell you guys about that man a little bit later. Cortez Paul again. Thank you for always having me on the show when you get a chance. When you come around to it. And I'm doing great, man. It's a new year. New year, new me, bitch. That's what everybody's saying. But no, thank you guys. I'm doing great.
No doubt. Mr. Brad, how
yes,
you doing this evening, sir?
I am great. Great. Another fantastic day, and I get to spend an hour plus with you lovely faces.
Hey man, tell us about the jersey you're wearing right now, man.
It's the bus.
The bus.
Hopefully Najee can channel some of that inner bus.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. Trust me. The only bus we're gonna see is the bus ride back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, there it is, man. But hey, at least you guys got teams in the playoffs, so. Once again, I'm living in the past. My Super Bowl Broncos shirt's on. Last time I seen playoffs or anything like that was 2015, and it continues in 2024.
I didn't know Tom was going to be here. So since Tom's here,
cut that shit out, Paul. So he been faking this whole time. That motherfucker don't wear no glasses. God damn! As soon as he said since Tom won't be here,
I'm even to put on
the pit virus. Guess what? You see this championship?
See
the championship ball? You see the championship ball? I'ma turn it. I don't want you guys to see that anymore.
Hey, we're all champions here, Tom. At least when it comes to football. Basketball's a different story. I can't talk championship about basketball. So
we're one under you guys. We'll talk about that probably later. You know, I'm a Heat fan, so we might be two under you guys right now, but actually we might be over you guys one game. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, we dropped. We're 8 right now. Y'all like 6. So
I didn't say it. You did.
Okay. Well, hey, we're here to talk about Super Wild Card weekend.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, boom,
Bum,
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 boom,
bum,
bum,
Bum, bum, bum, bum, bum, bum.
boom, bum, boom, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum.
I got a great panel here with me to discuss this with me, and I'm super excited about it. So the mind of the football mind to discuss this, and we got a better panel for right here that we got displayed right now to talk this football with you guys. So we're super excited. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna start with the NFC. We're gonna go with the 7th seed, the Green Bay Packers versus he said why versus Dallas Cowboys. So I'm gonna go to my counterparts that root for the NFC teams in the NFC East and doesn't like this team, but I want to talk to them both. And Paul, I want to start with you, man. Like, what is one of your top storyline coming out of this game between these two teams, the Packers and the Cowboys?
Oh, it's easy. How the fuck did Green Bay get here?
The same way we did.
Like any given Sunday.
Kudos to the Packers, man. Like, kudos to the Packers. They played well. They did what they had to do. They had some hiccups along the way. It wasn't an easy last 4 weeks or so for them. They had some tough losses. But hey, they're here, man. And we know how it is going against Dallas in the playoffs. I know Dallas is really good at home. I know that number 2 seed was very important to Dallas to get that number 2 so they can get the home field advantage. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what Green Bay can do if they can pull off an upset.
Got you. Tom, what's the storyline for you out of these two teams that you come into this game?
Is this really a question? Dallas is trash. I hate Dallas. I don't like Dallas. I don't like the city of Dallas, and they're not even Dallas. They're in Arlington. I'm joking. But like I said before in this podcast, Dallas plays everybody that's a pretty good name team at home. I don't know what Jerry Jones has over the NFL, but he gets to get these guys to play at home, and then the easy games, he can go on the road. But, when momentum happens, anything can happen. And again, like I said, any given Sunday. And Dallas does this every single year. Whether they make the postseason or not, they always get hot at the end of the season, and they either cough it up or kind of break it up, and either get a wild card place or I can't even say win a division because they haven't won a division in a little bit. But Dallas has all the firepower in the world, and they still have Dak Prescott that can look great at times. But me being an Eagles fan, I can't see him getting past the second round because there's always something that happens where the decision making, I don't know if it's the coaches, I don't know if it's Dak, but the decision making just doesn't happen. I don't see them losing to Green Bay because just Dallas is on the road right now. As much as it pains me to say that, Dallas is just on the road right now, man. They have the only thing they don't have is a power back, but they have every other thing on that field, even defense. They lost one piece in defense, but Green Bay can't hang, man. I think it's gonna be and I hate to say it, I think it's gonna be slaughter, man. I think it's gonna be Dallas gonna put big points on that board, man.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same thing. I think it's going to be shutted off by the end of the first quarter.
I hope it's not. I hope Dallas.
I don't want it. Trust me, I don't want it to be either. But like you said, I don't think Green Bay is going to be able to hang with Dallas.
Green Bay's gotten healthy at the right time. They got Aaron Jones back. I think that's a big win for them. Dynamic threat out of the backfield. He can run. He can catch. He'll help Jordan Love out. He'll help Jordan Love out a lot.
But Paul, what does that matter against this goddamn high-powered? And I can say it like ain't no hate. It's high-powered Dallas offense, man. Like the only thing that's going against Dallas right now is them. Like I can't see nothing else happening, but Dak doing what he does all the time, which I love. But shit, if that doesn't happen, bro, they're gonna tear their ass up.
I don't think they're going to be able to stop Micah Parsons. I think he's going to have a rampage game on defense.
Bro, it's going to be – I think it's going to be stupid. I don't even want to watch the game.
I could see him having a couple sacks, a forced fumble, and probably a pick by the end of that game.
Yeah, so I believe it.
This is a Cowboys team that is
undefeated
at home. It's undefeated at home.
They pick their games at home, bro. They pick their games at home.
Yeah. Well, listen, if that's the case, they still handle business. They got to go out there and win them, and they did do that. So, down passing attack needs to hit up Green Bay, which Green Bay defense gives up 94.7 pass rating. So this defense can be scored on, and Dallas being, as Thomas mentioned, about them being a high octane offense. Is there anything else you can see what else these teams, how the game plan? How you think Green Bay need to pull the upset, Brad? Is there anything that they particularly need to do?
They got to run the ball.
Run the ball and tackle Dak before he has time to create a play. That's where a lot of. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brad. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like that Lions game they won. I mean, they had him dead to rights in the end zone for his safety, and he managed to get out of that. And all he did, he had CeeDee Lamb running free. I think if you keep him from having those opportunities, you're going to keep the game a lot closer.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Tom, you want to add to that?
No, I agree with that. Running the ball and being aggressive on CD, man, because I haven't seen nobody really stop him yet. Like, not to go back to my limping Eagles, but like we figured it out in the second half of the first game how to kind of clamp him down because there's nobody else. Well, they got what's your boy, number 9? I can't remember his name, but he could peel off a couple yards for Dallas.
Brandon Cooks?
Dallas.
Cooks. There you go. Cooks could peel off, but like the key to that offense is CeeDee, man. Like you've seen it week in, week out, and it's hard to double because if you double him, there's just gonna be somebody else open. But they got to figure out how to clamp CeeDee down, kind of press him up front to get him off his game. But man, I just can't see them losing, man. And also, Dallas is decent on the run, and they're missing. I think they're missing somebody in the middle. But that run game is real strong with them. They gave up a couple points, they gave up a couple yards in that run game. I think they if they run, they would be kind of successful. But again, you're playing Dallas at home.
Yeah, Dallas doesn't have Vander Esch, that star linebacker they got. He's out.
There you go, Vander Esch. That's what it is.
See, that's what I'm here for.
Exactly.
I know what you were thinking.
But that's the key to that run. That's the key to that run game because now you got a pocket open. You know what I mean? Because you got a backup in, and he's got to prove himself. But I don't know, man. I think Dallas is just gonna blow this shit out.
I think it's gonna be ugly.
Paul, who you got for your S factor in this game for both teams? Who needs to be one to stand up?
I think it's gonna be Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones has to show up. I think he's gonna have to spell with Dylan. They're gonna have to try to do their best to control time of possession. And much like Jordan Love's done in the last 5 weeks, he hasn't been turning the ball over. So if you're not turning over the ball and you're not giving Dallas extra possessions, who knows? The key is going to be stopping explosive plays. Can they stop CeeDee Lamb going for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns? Because Dallas's run game is not great.
No.
Yeah, but they can score over the tops. They can score over the tops real quick.
But if you can shut that down a little bit or keep it contained, keep it in front, the key is just going to be time of possession. Dallas, you have to keep that offense off the field as much as you can. So, I mean, between A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, Jordan Love can scramble a little bit. He's probably going to run for his life a whole lot in this game, but it's going to come down to turnovers. I think the team who has the most turnovers is going to lose this game. So will that be playoff Dak or will that be first playoff game ever Jordan Love? I don't know. But it'll be interesting.
To add to your point, Paul, about I do agree with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. A.J. Dillon is 3.4 yards per carry, and Aaron Jones is 4.6. Both of them is top 12 in yards per carry. So if you do got a point that they got to neutralize and keep the time possession in their favor to make sure that they can extend the game a little bit and slow it down and get that high-octane offense off the field. So that's definitely a good way to neutralize them. Now, can they do that? They got the running backs that can do it, but, of course, there's not elements. So, I mean, you don't have to worry about finding the elements here. So, for the most part, and that wouldn't bother Green Bay in the first place. They play in the cold. So, but it's just interesting to see what can happen here, too. Also, Green Bay offensive line, too. 30 sacks taken. That's third in the league. So, that's the reason Love has been looking good in these last few games here. That line is keeping them intact. So I guess we're all on the board. We all kind of hinting at who's going to win. We just all agree that Dallas is going to win this game.
I wouldn't be shocked if Green Bay beat them just because playoff Dallas is different. But
agreed.
It's Dallas's game to lose for sure. This is one of those games where if Green Bay somehow wins, the report's going to be that Dallas lost the game.
But you got to remember,
lose the game.
But you got to remember, Green Bay's defense, like rushing wise, is probably, I think they're ranked like 28th,
yeah,
28th in the league.
They're not up there.
They don't rush well, and Dallas always has a good offensive line. You know what I mean? So with a 28th ranked rushing offense on a playoff game, I don't know how that's going to work out, brother. Like if Dak has time in the pocket, Dak can throw. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I hate saying this, Dak can throw when he has time. I think any quarterback that's got them in the league, if they give them that much time, they can throw. Again, against a 28th ranked rushing defense. That's going to be tough to overcome that.
Yeah. But I just think it's going to boil down to if Green Bay somehow pulls this out of their ass and wins, I think it's going to be that Dallas. The narrative will just be that Dallas lost. It won't be that Green Bay did anything special. It'll be, this is Dallas, playoff whatever. So there's more pressure on Dallas to win this game because they worked up to get the number 2. They got the number 2. They got their home field. They're 16-0 at home in the last 16 games. They haven't lost a home game in 16 games. They are primed to win this game, and the matchup favors them very much. But Green Bay is healthy now, and I think a healthy Aaron Jones with A.J. Dillon, if you can break off almost 5 yards of rush every time you hand the ball off, it can do some damage.
Yeah, they just got to have something to go their way. So
we'll 3.5 yards. If he can get 3.5 yards a carry, that'll put him third and 3. 3rd and 3 is manageable. You get any longer than that, Green Bay's going to have a tough time.
Yeah, you got way more options at 3 and 3 than you would at 3 and 10. So that's fair. All right, let's move on to the next game. Sorry, I froze, guys. Dang Wi-Fi. Number 6 Los Angeles Rams versus number 3 Detroit Lions. Paul, what is your top storyline coming out of this game?
It's got to be the quarterback situation, right? Matt Stafford going up against his old team, Jared Goff going up against his old team. The Rams, regardless of who didn't play last week, the Rams are coming off a win against the 49ers. The Lions could have potentially had a number 2 seed had that game turned out a little differently in Dallas a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's a lot going on there. The Lions just being in the postseason, being a 3 seed, having a home game, like what a huge thing for the city of Detroit to have a home playoff game. So obviously the energy is going to be high. It's just who's going to be more poised. Jared Goff is, prone to making some mistakes. He's a young quarterback. Matt Stafford won the Super Bowl a few years ago. The Rams are kind of rolling offensively a little bit. They have the emergence of some young rookie wide receivers. They're very dynamic. I think the winner of this game can really do some damage going forward, depending on how seedings line up with, whether who the Lions would play versus who the Rams would play. But this is a big one for both these guys.
Okay. Tom, your top storyline out of this game, or thoughts about this game in general?
Come on, man. Like, I think the Lions got so much to prove. I think they're going to run through these dudes, man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Brad.
So I'm sorry. Let me expound a little bit more. I got a 16-year-old kid here, and I got a dog that's probably a little older than him, but he's younger than him, but he acts older than him. I'm sorry, guys. Either way, but the Lions, man, they got a lot on the line. All right. I don't care what anybody says. These guys have been balling all year. They've been showing up, proving, they've been drinking that Kool-Aid, and I don't know what's going on, but they're better than even when Megatron was on this team, bro. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. You know what I mean? Like, Megatron was great, but it's a collective. These boys are balling. Whether they win or not, this is probably the greatest season they had.
Okay, for sure.
You know what I mean? So I'm banking on these boys to I can't say bust ass, but I think they're gonna squeeze this thing out though. And that's just going off of feelings. I'm sorry. I know people say facts over feelings, but this is my feeling about this game here.
Brad, you got a storyline for the Rams? What you think about the Rams?
I don't know. I like it's a revenge game for somebody. Somebody gonna come out with bragging rights.
Yeah, these boys are underdogs. These Lions are underdogs. Like,
yeah,
whether it says it on the record sheet or not, but these boys are underdogs. You know what I mean?
And I think they've embraced that the entire year. That they're playing the Lions. We know how that goes, and they just didn't. I think they played with house money all year long. Whether they won, whether they lost, they didn't care. But they were going to go out there and they were going to beat your ass and make you feel every minute that you played. And at the end of the game, if they were up, that was fine. If they lost, that was still fine. They were ready for next week.
Yeah, man. They're showing improvement, man. It's crazy. Like, it's a difference between heart and numbers on the board, or numbers on that rank board, because my team's 11-6 and we look like doo-doo. The Lions look like the cream of the crop, and they 11-6 as well.
12-5,
right?
Yeah.
12-5. But it shows with that heart, though. You know what I mean? Like,
I think a lot of it's the coach, Dan Campbell. They love Dan Campbell. They love his attitude and the culture
like I said,
that he brought in.
They've been drinking that Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah,
been drinking that Kool-Aid.
When they brought him in, everybody made fun of him. Oh, look at this podunk talk about biting knees and biting ankles 2 years ago in his press conference. But look what he did. Look at that short turnaround, because the players like him. The players love him. The city loves him. I mean, if you get a coach you love, what wouldn't you do for them?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
I tell you.
Go ahead, Tom.
No, I was about to say it's only illegal if you get caught. You know what I mean? About the team that the Lions got. It's only illegal if they get caught cheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's always the second person that gets caught, so never be second.
Paul doesn't. Paul, it's all right, brother. It's all right. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Cortez.
All right. So, so the team strategy, and I kind of go first on this one. This is what I think one of the ways that the Rams should attack. They should attack the Lions passing D. The Lions tend to give up 7 or 8 yards per passing attempt.
Hold on. Say that again. What did you say? Passing what?
The yards passing attempt.
Before that, what did you say?
No, 7.8.
Oh, what, to go after the Lions D?
Yeah. Say it again.
To go after their D.
The Lions defense. Go after the Lions defense. They give up your 7.8 yard passing game. It's 31st in the league. I heard you. I'm keep going.
No, it's my headphones, bro. My bad, dog.
No, you're good.
No, it's my headphones. I was breaking up. My bad.
Can't spell D without Detroit. Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp and Puka
Nakua.
Yeah, he's been coming on and he's had a hell of a season. So he's almost got
Yeah,
1,500
he set
yards.
what the
Pro Bowl.
rookie receiving and catches.
Oh yeah. So for me, the Rams, for them to come out here in Detroit and really pull something off, they have to attack their passing defense. So anything else that y'all see that maybe the Rams can do to kind of pull off the upsets? Is there something else that y'all agree on with this, or something else that y'all can see that they can do against Detroit?
No, I think this is probably actually going to be one of the better games to watch this weekend.
Yo, and I'm gonna tell you, man. Like, I'm actually kind of dumbfounded. Like, I've been watching the Detroit Lions, but like, I can't say much. I say the Rams just need to get Cooper Kupp like involved really early. You know what I mean? If they can jump out on him early, Cooper Kupp is probably still one of the best in the league. Like, they need to get that man acclimated early though. Once you jump out early in any game, I think they got it, man. And then once that man gets going, you can't stop him, man. There's no way to stop him.
It's funny because he is not the fastest wide receiver in the league.
His fundamentals is crazy.
The routes that he runs,
fundamentally sound.
Yeah, it's ridiculous if you watch his route running ability. That's where he gets open. It's pure route running.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's over the middle. Like, even if he really doesn't line up too much in the slot, but even if he's overtaking slants, long balls, like, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, if you get that man acclimated early, man, I think defenses get scared of him. They don't know what to do with him because he just goes.
He's not scared to go over the middle.
He's not, man.
He's the number 2 pick on the all-white team, man. Christian McCaffrey.
Who's number one?
Christian McCaffrey.
Got it. I got you. He's the baddest white boy that ever ran that ball.
Yeah. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, what's your thoughts about what did Detroit need to do to get a win here?
I think Dan Campbell needs to not get outcoached by Sean McVay. I think Sean McVay is going to just try to outcoach him. And I think that's going to be the thing where Dan Campbell needs to just keep it cool, not do anything crazy. Because if you give a coach like Sean McVay opportunities, he's going to capitalize on those opportunities. He's made the most out of this Rams team coming into the year. I mean, they didn't have a whole lot on paper, but he knows how to make the most out of what he's got. So I think just Dan Campbell needs to just not get in his own head, not make any wild plays, and just realize he has the better team. This is one of those few opportunities where he can say he has the better team. He needs to get the chip off his shoulder a little bit and just know that he has the better of these two teams and not let the Rams outcoach him, because that'd be a bad spot to be in.
Gotcha. And who's your S factor for the Rams or for the Lions? Who's your S factor in this game for the Lions? What player? Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs, between Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery, I think the two of them are gonna have to do some things. Obviously, we know about St. Brown.
Same.
I think Sam Laporta might not play. I think he's hurt. So
he took a huge shot to the knee, I think.
Yeah, that's a huge loss for Detroit. So that takes some dynamic plays away from them. So a lot's going to fall on St. Brown.
Fellas, I'm gonna get to the one.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
I'm gonna get to that 1 through 3. I don't mean to go ahead of you, Paul, but like, it's the 1, 2, 3. Throw that ball to goddamn St. Brown over the top and keep pounding these people. Like, come on. They've been doing that all year. I had him in my fantasy. This man is good for yard after yard after yard. Like, let's make it easy. Throw that thing to that boy. If he can't, start that running game up. They've been doing that all year. They got a tandem. Let's go. It's easy. It's easy football.
Aaron Donald in the middle, though. Aaron Donald in the middle. That can cause some problems.
It don't matter when you got St. Brown on that side, bro. Like, I'm telling you, he's been tearing everybody up. It don't matter who's been on that field.
So, Thomas, you saying the yeet factor, you get under pressure, you just throw it in St. Brown's direction as far as you can and pray to God?
That's what you do to any great wide receiver.
Yep.
Laporta, that Laporta injury is key. No, I'm about to say that Laporta injury is key, though, because in case you can't go that deep and run the run game, to go that medium route where he can go rely on Laporta, that stinks for that injury, man. So,
but then also that's when you go to your checkdowns. That's football. You got to go to your checkdowns. Like you can't So it's one thing to know there's an out, right, and see somebody get beat by this guy or give him a jump ball. But obviously, neither one of us has been in the NFL. Probably some of us has played football. But as a quarterback, you got to go for your checkdowns.
Yep.
If you're not a smart quarterback, you got to read that first.
Yeah.
There's checkdowns you got to go with. And then again, once you have somebody hurt, they're going to probably try to double or cover 4 outside or something like that. So that leaves an area open for a check down that you need to start working the ball to. And then again, you got probably a guy that's blocking going on to the flats. You got to hit these check downs. That's the thing. I'm sorry if you didn't ask me that already, but that's the things that the Lions have to do to win this game. Like that quarterback has to be smart, read his check downs. If not, give your deep man a chance to catch his ball.
Yeah. Don't become one-dimensional.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm sorry. I had to go my ESPN on you guys. But
appreciate that.
But then,
you got a telestrator over there too?
But that's the way that Detroit has to go about this game, man. Like, they're the better team, obviously. Well, in my opinion. They're the better team. They're the underdog, and they got more to lose.
Brad, who's the S factor for the Rams?
For the Rams, I think it's going to be Puka Nacua. Are they going to be able to let him run wide open like he's been doing all year? I mean, how else do you set the rookie receiving yards and reception? Now, I mean, during regular season, yeah, you kind of don't get respect because your respect's earned in the postseason. But, I mean,
absolutely.
If they leave him open, he's going to burn them.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what's crazy about Puka too is he started the year off up here, like, you know what I mean. He hasn't had more than five catches in a game in his last like 9 games. Guy catches like 4 or 5 balls a game, and just yards after catch, just a yak monster.
Yeah.
I think my S factor is Ryan May is DeMarcus Robinson. He had touchdown in 4 straight games. So, you know, a lot of teams going to be on Puka and it's going to be on Cup. So maybe the Marcus can kind of sneak through for like a huge, be effective with those two kind of having eyes on them, being the focal point. So maybe he can have a big game and sneak in a little bit and kind of help shred that field for the Rams. So yeah, let's see where that goes. So who we got winning this game?
I got Detroit.
I'm going Detroit.
I'm gonna take the Rams.
I got Detroit as well. I think Detroit's gonna pull this one
I think it's gonna be close. Game, it's gonna be a 1-score game.
Oh yeah, this game's gonna be pretty dang good. So I agree, it's gonna be a close game. So
real quick, I want to throw something out there, right? So I looked at his stats. Like, obviously Puka is like balling. Like, he's got 14, almost 1,500 yards. He's only got 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to think about that stat, right? You would think with over 1,000 yards, you would have close to 10 touchdowns, at least 10 touchdowns. Like, so the Lions defense is pretty good secondary wise. So I think they're going to have a game plan for that, man. You know what I mean? Like, because yeah, he gets a lot of yards. That'll set you up for a field goal. That'll set you up for a touchdown. But I think they can stop these guys. You know what I mean? Like, playoffs is another thing, but this is his first playoff game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just on the other side of the dime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at playoffs, you pretty much got to put points up anytime you get the ball, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown.
So exactly, like I'm saying, like, yeah, he could put him in that range, but like when you're in the playoff, you got to score. When you're in this playoffs game, so he's got to score the ball. He hasn't been scoring the ball. Like six touchdowns, like I said, is pretty decent, but you got to score that goddamn ball. You know what I mean? Yards are definitely going to set you up, but like I think he's going to have to put that thing in the end zone more than once.
Oh, yeah. But you got everybody else.
If you look at every team playing this weekend, AFC, NFC, it don't matter. Look at every single matchup. The one benefit the Rams have is of all these games, besides obviously Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, I don't think there's another quarterback I'd rather have on my team than Matt Stafford. Guys played playoff games. Guys won a Super Bowl. He's got the experience. I think that goes a long way.
You know what, Paul? If there was 5 weeks ago, I would say Jalen Hurts. But on to the next subject.
Which happened to be the next game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Philadelphia Eagles.
I plead the fifth.
Hey, great segue there, Tom. So
I plead the fifth.
So I'm gonna go to my Eagles connoisseur, all knower of Eagles football. What's the storyline coming out of this game, man?
Ali's the greatest. Pound for pound, he's the greatest. He beat Joe Frazier.
Mama called him Clay.
I'm gonna call him Clay. Nah, we hurt in every way, bro. Like, I know every team is hurt, but my Eagles are down bad, bro. We are down bad. Darius Slay gone. Blankenship, leading tackler, gone. I think Fletcher Cox might be gone. Swift, gone.
Fletcher been there forever.
Dude, we're hurt in every way. Devontae, gone. AJ Brown, gone. Everybody's gone, bro. Everybody's hurt. If we win this game, it's going to be on fumes. There's no way I think that we are going to beat the 9-8 Buccaneers.
Hold on, Swift and Brown are not playing?
Not yet, not just yet.
I haven't been clear yet. Okay. They're just on the injury report.
And then Jalen, dumbass Nick Sirianni didn't take this man out after we got blown out by whatever team we played. Bro, messed his finger up. He should have been out the game. Paul, don't throw your hands up like that. You know what team I'm talking about. But either way, yo, we're so hurt. It's not even funny, man. Like, I have no words. If we come out, Marcus Mariota, he kind of looked decent coming out because Marcus Mariota can run a first string offense. We saw it last year in Atlanta. It wasn't that great, but it was decent. But the camaraderie of the Eagles, I think, will push him along if he has to play. And I think he could probably compete with the Buccaneers. But again, the Buccaneers are playing for a spot in the playoffs. Well, they're playing for the next space in the playoffs. So they're going to play us decent, and we're going to be here in Tampa. And I just don't think we have anything to offer no more, man. I think we're just spent. That's just the bottom line, bro.
All right. You got a storyline for this game, Paul? What's your storyline for this game? My other NFC East counterpart that roots for team NFC East and doesn't like these other teams.
I think it's the story that we say every week, right? Like what version of Baker Mayfield is going to show up? Is it perfect quarterback rating in Green Bay, Baker Mayfield, or is it
Cleveland Brown Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, exactly. Like what Baker Mayfield are we getting? I mean, there's a picture of him practicing yesterday. He had some Zins in his pocket. He's dialed in. He's ready to go. Tampa Bay's defense has been susceptible to giving up big plays, but if the Eagles are that beat up and the big play's not there, it'll be. I just think it's going to come down to Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield's got to make plays, not turn the ball over, and not give the Eagles extra possessions. Because obviously, I'm sure AJ Brown ain't missing this game. I'm sure Swift ain't missing this game if he can. I'm sure if these guys have a pulse, they're not missing this game.
I don't know, brother.
And I think a lot of the talent is on the Eagles. They're definitely the more talented team, but
yeah,
Chris Godwin going up against a team with a banged up secondary could be big trouble. And obviously you have Big Mike Evans on the outside. So
But I'm sorry, I don't mean to chime in again on you, but again, bro, our secondary has been suspect for years. And again, coming back to this year, we got our leading tackler that's out, right? And he covers quite a bit of area in that middle right there. You got Mike Evans. That man hasn't had under 1,000 yards since he touched the ball in the NFL, I think.
Probably since Pop Warner.
Exactly. Like, the crazy thing about this game, bro, is it's up for the taking for anybody that can throw over the middle, man. Like, we are so battered, it's not even funny, dog.
Brad, you got a storyline for this game, either team?
I don't know. I ain't got any skin in that game. But
not even no foreskin?
I'm across the state. I'm waiting for that Pittsburgh Buffalo. But no,
Gotcha.
like Thomas said, they are beat up. Like, you can almost see it on their faces in the fourth quarter. They're like, God, is this over yet?
Yeah, for sure. Tom, I'm gonna go back to you. Eagles, if they get some of these bodies back, what should be their strategy against the Bucs? They did play them in week 3, but this is a totally different complex situation now that both teams are in. So,
And the Bucs almost got him back in week 3, didn't they?
It was close.
Yeah, bro, every game has been close.
no, y'all got it's 25-11, right? I thought Eagles won like profoundly. The other games in nature, they beat them.
Like I said before, we didn't score over 30 points. We haven't scored over 30 points. We didn't score over 30 points, I think, until like the 4th, 5th game, 6th game in the goddamn season. Like, when you can't score over 30 points, we're grinding these games out.
Second game, week 2 against Minnesota, you had 34 points.
34 points. Okay. But we were grinding all these games out. Right? But to your question, if we get these guys back, there's no telling what we could do. We could either run the score up. It's the playoffs. Every team plays different in the playoffs. Or
Swift ran it well against them in week 3.
Say it again?
Swift had 130 yards that game.
He been balling. Swift.
Yeah, he can run on them. He can run on the Bucs, and the Bucs run defense their defense is good, but their run defense is.
But you got to remember, like I just said, the playoffs is a different beast. Everybody wants to get to that second round. People lock down. You know what I mean? Like, again, you come off an injury, who knows what you're gonna do?
I misspoken. The Bucs pass defense is terrible, but their rush defense is good. But Swift popped off against them. So I mean, maybe they can replay that.
Swift been popping off against it.
But the Bucs defense held teams to 3.8 yards per carry. But Swift was the only one of the few that really pop off against the Bucs running the ball. So,
but I tell you what, if Swift comes back that game, the run game is going to be the tandem between Fulgham, Swift, and then you might see Boston Scott in there. So that's where we get our push from, because we have a couple weapons at the running spot. And also, if we get the other pieces back, Devontae Smith, and we get A.J. Brown back, of course, we have, long shots. We got over the middle. You got Zacchaeus that can actually do some of everything. What's your boy? He ain't really been doing much this year. And I talked about that earlier. Who we got from the Titans? Not A.J. Brown, but I can't call his name right now.
Kevin
Number
Meyer?
80.
Jones?
Julio. He's the only thing that we kind of had in the last couple games, and he's been catching a couple balls, but he's the wash Julio that we got. You know what I mean? I was waiting for him to kind of like have a little glimpse of the past, but it didn't happen.
A little bit of a revival.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. That's what we needed from him this past game. But to your question again, if we get these guys back, no telling, we could be Eagles are old and just bust their ass.
Yeah, no, this is. I mean, the Bucs is coming in hot. They won their 5 out of their last 6 games. I mean, I know there have been some of these games that was closer than they need to be, but they won their 5 games.
To that point, we lost the 5 of our last 6 games. games.
Exactly. So like to me, that's my storyline of this. This is going to be like, well, what's going to pop me the kettle here? What's going to happen here between
historic season for the Philadelphia Eagles, regardless.
Yeah, we just see two teams that's going a different direction, and but like I said, this is a good matchup for the Eagles for sure. Like they can, the Bucs would be tough to beat, but they can't beat them. They beat them before.
But what does that say about the Bucs? Because are you talking about a good matchup if the Eagles are healthy or if the Eagles are hurt? Because if we're healthy Eagles, that's not a good matchup. We run that ball down their throat. But a team that might be a little limping and a little hurt, I think is a good matchup. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Eagles fan.
No, for sure. I'm just saying lately though they've been shutting down the rush, but y'all were one of the few teams that ran off on them. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those two. And then also y'all do a great job, even though Hurst has been turning the ball, having these issues with turnovers this year. The Eagles O-line is giving up 39 sacks. So I mean,
probably the most ever.
Yeah, more for them, but they're still one of the better teams protecting them. They're like ranked 11. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those that if Bucs defense top 10 and red zone. So you get down there and start playing your fool a little bit. Bucs do make it tough for you to score against them. So, who's your S factor, Tom? Who's the Eagles' S factor for you? Whichever body that you do have available for the Eagles.
It's going to be Jalen Hurts, man. If he's going to turn the ball over, if he's going to be the running Jalen Hurts, or if he's going to be the smart Jalen Hurts, where instead of turning the ball over, maybe throw out of bounds, or again, get to your checkdowns. Like, I know Nick Sirianni likes to be a little dicey and likes to throw down in the field to be third down, and he goes for a long pass down the sideline. We need to be smart with the ball. Like Paul said, we gotta not turn the ball over. But also, Jalen also needs to realize that he might be a little banged up. The run option might not be the best option for him right there. So get to your checkdowns and toss the ball to your flat or toss the ball out of bounds if you're getting closed in. You can't just fall down like he's been doing and get these sacks. And that's been the difference. Like the turnover has been crazy on him, man. It's been disgusting watching him just like lay down. He's hurt. If you saw Jalen, we all saw Jalen Hurts. If somebody gets in that pocket, he flushes out that pocket so fast and gets you 20 yards quick. He hasn't been doing that. He has been turning his back and laying down on the floor. That's not Jalen Hurts.
No, a lot of that shows heart. I mean, granted, you're hurt, but like you said, if somebody gets close to him, he's just laying down. It shows lack of heart, lack of effort. That's not something you want from a star quarterback in the league.
Exactly. That he's totally the X factor. When he's playing good and when he's got that heart showing it, everybody around him plays good. And I've been seeing it all year. So that's the X factor.
Okay. Paul, who's your S factor for the Bucs?
Baker Mayfield, bro.
Ooh. Bake.
Bucs? Bake, man. Bake's got to show up.
He said Antonio Brown?
Baker Mayfield's got to show up and show that he might be the quarterback for the near future for Tampa Bay. He's had some great games. He's had some bad games, but I really think the play of Baker Mayfield is going to really dictate Tampa's offense. He's just got to make smart plays, not turn the ball over, and we'll see what happens. I think this is a situation where this couldn't have lined up any better for Tampa. I mean, they were in that, they were in our favorite division in the NFL, the someone's got to have it division. They got hot late. They pulled away, and they got the home field in the first round, so they're at home. Weather should be decent. They got to worry about the elements trying to hold them down, and the Eagles are really banged up physically and emotionally, and all signs point to Tampa Bay going and getting a W this weekend.
Well, why'd you say emotionally? Because we lost to the Giants?
No, because y'all lost your last 6 games, bro.
Brad,
listen. They're 1-5 in their last 6. 1-5.
Y'all the first team to win. Y'all the first team to win 10 out of their first 12, and then not win 12 for the whole year.
Oh, no.
You know what?
No,
Paul,
hey,
take it back. Paul, take it back.
Pittsburgh.
Take it back, Paul.
Pittsburgh.
Now,
2 seasons ago, we went 11-0 and lost every single game.
Brad, he's only saying that because he's a goddamn Giants fan. That's the only reason why he's saying it. Take it back.
I'm pretty sure that year we probably set history as being the only team to go 11-0 and not make the playoffs.
That's crazy. Bro, let me get your opinion on this before we make our picks here. How crazy is that the Bucs are actually in the playoffs? Because a lot of people projected them not to probably be the worst team in the league. Baker Mayfield. Can you talk about just the Bucs' success, where they're at, and how they got here, and what you think about them getting here? Because a lot of people didn't even think the Bucs would be a playoff team.
A lot of it's just heart. I mean, you got Baker who came in, no one expected Baker to do anything. They looked at Baker's track record his entire career, and he's not this, he's not that. So I think he put it on his shoulders, gave himself a little chip, and decided he's going to go out and show everybody that, look, I can do this. I did in college. I can do it here. So it's just going to be, like Paul said, it's going to be which Baker shows up. Because the quarterback leads the team. If the quarterback's not doing it, it's going to go south real quick.
Gotcha. All right, who we got winning this game? Tom, go first.
Come on, bro. You didn't got to go with me. You know how I'm going with. Come on, bro.
Let the people hear you say it, bro.
I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles, baby.
Oh, did you just say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Yeah. Hello, let me check my earphones again. Hell no, bro. I don't care how banged up we are. I don't give a damn if Nick Sirianni has to get in and kick a field goal. We winning this game.
All right. Paul, who you got winning this game?
Tampa.
You know what, Paul? Take it back. Paul, take it back.
Brad, who you got winning?
You can go to the game. You can go to the game for like $100, man. Tickets are cheap.
I'll go and sit outside.
They're not cheaper than the 45-cent tickets for Carolina Panthers that one week. But they're probably pretty close. I don't know. Let's see. The last time I was on the show, y'all went with the team. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be the odd man out. I'm going to go with this team. You know how that went? Horrible.
Bad. So go with the Eagles.
So I'm going with Cortez and Paul.
That's 2 different people, not just one.
You see that Cortez, Paul, and then Paul. And then,
listen, I'm going with the final statistics.
Okay.
I'm trying to bring up my win percentage because it's terrible.
It's fine.
I'm going the Eagles by a field goal.
Yeah,
Elliott, who is a beast now, and I feel like this game is going to be ugly enough, and it's going to piss Tom off a little bit, and it shouldn't be as close as it should be, and the Eagles will win by a field goal. So
booty cheeks be tight. Booty cheeks be tight. Boy, I ain't never have no thigh, ass, cheek muscles in this long. Boy, I've been holding these shits tight for the last couple games. Boy, sheesh.
All right,
man. I hope your hair falls out if we win. All that long hair.
Oh man! All right, let's go to the AFC, and we're gonna start with the Steelers and Bills. Pittsburgh versus Buffalo. This is gonna be a Sunday game, 1 p.m. I'm gonna start with my super fan here to the bottom.
Ooh, the bus.
This way with the bus jersey on. B-Rad, what's the storyline for your Steelers coming out of this game?
TJ Watt not being there.
That sucks, man. That's
That's massive. I think we're 1-10 or something like that without TJ Watt. But I think we do have a lot of younger edge rushers that are working that outside, like Nick Herbig, who ironically from the University of Wisconsin, exactly where TJ come from. Oh,
okay.
TJ's been mentoring him since college. Now they're on the same team. So I think they've got similar mindsets. But a lot of it's going to come down to Mason Rudolph. Is he able to move the ball? And being in Buffalo this weekend, I think the weather is going to take a big part in it too. Just like in Kansas City. It's going to be cold. These outdoor games are going to be miserable. And it's just going to be who wants it more.
Okay. Mr. Mack, give me your storyline coming out of this game for the Bills and the Steelers. Go with the Bills. What's the storyline for the Bills?
I'm going to go back to the way this began with the Green Bay Packers. But this goes for both of these teams. How the fuck did we get here?
We got here because Tennessee was better that day against Jacksonville. Thank the Lord. I don't know how that happened, but
I don't know how
it was great.
But I mean, the fact that y'all
Did we check on
in it
yet?
this long. No, I don't even heard from Kevin.
Yeah, we need to make sure Kevin's okay. Hope Kevin's okay.
Like I said last week, Buffalo was dead. Then they got a little bit of life left. Then they fell down, broke their hip. They were on life alert for a little bit. And now they're the number 2 seed in the AFC. This is a team who was gatekeeping the AFC East or the AFC East for how many years now? It was Miami's opportunity to take it. And they're still on top, man.
Miami blew it, bro. We'll get on Miami in the next segment.
For me, I personally think after how they've been playing, I think Buffalo is a very dangerous team. I think Buffalo getting home field, very dangerous for a lot of teams to go into Buffalo and play. Josh Allen, he has some turnover issues here and there, but I still think that the weapons that Buffalo has is going to give Pittsburgh a fit. So for me, it's just God bless America. God bless our troops, and gentlemen, start your engines.
Got you. Tom, you got a storyline for this game?
Yeah, I want to go with Brad, but I'm not going to do it. I think the Bills are going to walk all over these guys just because that 1-2, Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, they're very good, very, very good. And then you got everybody else on that team. Again, like you said, how did they get here? I don't know. But sorry, brother. I don't even think you guys thought you guys were gonna get here. We talked through the year.
Trust me, I didn't think we were gonna get there either.
Yeah, we thought we talked through the weeks, and you guys just been grounding it out too. And fortunately, somebody had to lose, so you got to get in, and it happened. But the story about the Bills, man, they just been unfortunately losing, and they've been a great team all I can't say a great team, but they've been a good team through the season and through the year, well, throughout the years. And I think it's going to resonate in this playoff game, man. Like, it's one of those games that can go either way, but the Bills just has the experience. And I understand that you guys won Super Bowls, but I'm talking about recently. The Bills has the experience. I think they got the better lineup. They got the better core, and I think Stephon Diggs has at least 3 touchdowns in this game.
Oh, absolutely. I'm right there with you. I don't feel like our quarterback's so suspect. Are we going to get the Mason Rudolph that comes out and throws for 300 yards?
Well, you guys haven't had
the Bengals. Are we going to get the Mason Rudolph that can't throw the ball 5 yards against the Indianapolis Colts and New England Patriots?
So I'm going to tell you, the swap through the years. The swap through the year kind of doesn't matter because, again, like I keep saying, playoffs, playoffs are a different beast. It's a different game. So any given Sunday, any given game, any team can win. But sometimes it just comes down to experience. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And not just basically playoff experience. I'm talking about experience of winning the game. You know what I mean? And the Bills can win a game.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So,
but I'll tell you, I tell you this though. The Steelers defense is going. If it's going to find a way for them to beat the Bills, it's going to be that defense. Like this is a defense that tied for 8th in quarterback hits. They got 47 sacks, top 11 in the league for that. Josh Allen does give away the ball. So you put pressure on him and hit him a little bit. Even though Josh Allen's a different animal. He's a different animal. That boy, he can take those hits. But
I was about to say, once you flush him out the pocket, that man can run too.
Yeah, he can run too. So like it really can the Steelers defense that's been pretty much their backbone, and Bracken attested this. Their defense has been fantastic. You know,
and we're banged up.
Yeah,
we're Thomas. We's banged up. We lost. I mean, the two big name inside linebacker we brought in this year, they're done. They're out season-ending injuries.
They're looking like us. Y'all hurt. You're hurt in the middle, where it counts.
Yeah. Minka, I don't know if I haven't seen if Minka's going to be in there this week, but yeah, we're running on fumes, and I think we played with house money too long, and I don't think this is going to be our week. I mean, as much as I forget who I was sitting with when we were watching it. Of all the teams I'd want to play in the AFC, first round would have been Buffalo because they've been kind of suspect here and there. But I think I got a better chance of seeing Niagara Falls freeze than Pittsburgh coming home with a W this week.
So you never know. So of all the teams, you wanted to play Buffalo?
Yeah, we're historically bad against Kansas City. Miami, we've never been that great against Miami. And the other two teams are in our division. And
I was about to say, I would agree with them. Like, you got to think about, like you just said, Miami, Tyreek's back. I think Waddle's still hurt, but Tua's still going to tear that ass up. You're not going to want to play ball.
I think it determines too. Like I would have liked to play Buffalo if
I forgot about Texas.
If they were the wild card.
I'm gonna go with Texas. I ain't gonna lie.
Still different.
But you gotta remember, Buffalo got the number 2 seed because Miami choked.
But also Buffalo also turned it on. Now Buffalo
did turn it on.
Buffalo's 11-6 record. It's a little flawed when you look at it because they even in their losses they've looked decent. They've looked good even when they lose. When they lose some games, they still looked good. They just got outplayed.
I'm gonna have to go with Cortez and say the team that y'all probably would have wanted to play was the Houston Texans.
No, Houston beat us earlier this year. I won't play them.
Yeah, but that don't matter. Like that's during the season.
To luck with somebody else.
That's during the season. You got to remember, like I keep saying, playoffs is a different beast. Like, yeah, I think y'all would have had a better chance playing. Well, we don't know yet. I'm saying if I had to call it and somebody asked me who would the better matchup would be the Texans and the Steelers.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play the AFC runner up from a year ago that lost to Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think Houston. I want to see Houston do some stuff this year. I think they're poised.
Not against my team if I was a Steelers fan.
Listen, as much as I want to be a Steelers fan, sometimes you just got to face the truth. I ain't going to sit here and blow smoke when I know that we banged up.
Hold on. Look where I'm pointing at, to the guy in the top left corner. That'll be the guy.
It's only you get caught.
Top left corner. I think that guy, he would say kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Kind of same. Mr. the boss of the show. I think he would say the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a second-year quarterback and a quarterback that's been in the league 6 years and has only started a handful of games. We don't have that experience.
Cortez, if you would mind me, can I ask a question? I'm not sure time permitting, but I just want to ask a quick question, and I just want to hear from you guys really quick. And I don't want me to take the show over or anything like that, but I just want to ask you, what do you forecast for your team in the next season to come up, or what did you get out of the season that you had in this year past?
Talking about a team that didn't make the playoffs, my Broncos.
Well, I'm just saying, because I like to hear that just because you're cut from a different cloth. You and Paul, Brad too, and I've told you guys before. I like to hear what you got, your input on different things, because, like I've said, you guys are almost professionals in my eyes with this stat and this jaw jacking talk, and I like the way you guys think. So that was one of my things I wrote down. I wanted to ask you guys really quick. What do you guys think about your team coming out of this year? If you guys didn't talk about it already on the past podcast.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. I'm just not happy with how they handle the Russell Wilson situation. It's just all about player and agent relationships and how that look for like free agents in the foreseeable future. I mean, yeah, I know there's a lot of money try to make smart business decisions, but at the same time, at the disdain of trying to get future prospects in your team and extending the ones that's on your team, how you treat that can mess up player relations. So we got a rocky mountain to climb in the offseason. So we'll see where we go.
One last question. Now, do you think Russell stays or goes?
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Paul Mack.
Where does he go? If Russell leaves, where does he go?
To hell.
His problem is he's going to want to be the starter wherever he goes.
Yeah.
That's his problem. Is he's not going to take a leadership role. He's not going to come in and try to mentor anybody. He's going to come in and he's going to want to start.
Paul, you got to remember, it doesn't matter what he wants. It doesn't matter what he wants.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. So what's the price? What's the price tag for Russell Wilson then?
A $2 million contract for a year.
You say league vet max? 1 year?
$2 million. You got to go.
But will he take something like that? And what does that do?
It don't matter if he takes it or not. It don't matter if he takes it or not.
Yeah.
No. Who needs Russell?
Yeah.
We need a quarterback.
There you go. See, Pittsburgh could use a Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I don't need him.
Yeah.
Paul Mack, what do you think about the Giants, brother?
We fucking stink.
I'm not going to agree with you, but I'm not going to disagree.
Saquon Barkley's most likely gone. We're stuck with Daniel Jones. We got Tommy DeVito as our backup quarterback.
Tommy Cutlets.
It's whatever, man. We gotta just hope to build in the draft and just continue to just be in a position we were this year where we can just potentially play spoiler at the end of the year and just get our 1 win versus Dallas or 1 win versus Philly and call it a day. But we're starting from scratch, and it's gonna be a fun ride the next couple seasons, I think.
I hope it's not a good ride. I hope you guys lose. Anyway, Cortez Paul, if you would allow me to ask Brad one more time. Got you.
Go ahead, Brad.
I think a lot of it is, how much we're okay in Pittsburgh with being mediocre. 17 seasons, Tomlin's never had a losing season. All right. Well, how many Super Bowls do we got? Granted, yeah. I mean, we don't lose a lot per season, but we're just not very good at the same time either. It always seems like we play down to competition. It almost seems like the Cardinals and the Patriots, 2-10 teams, and they freight trained us. It's almost like they walked into those games going, "Oh, they're 2-10. What can they do to us?" They ran the scoreboard up higher than you did. That's one thing. But I think it's just they're okay with being in the middle of the road. And as a team, I don't think anybody's ever gone into the season and been like, if we go one game above 500. That's a good year for us.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I mean, in Pittsburgh's defense, you are probably in the toughest division in the league.
Oh God, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
now.
to end up near 500 when you got to play Baltimore twice, Cleveland twice, and Cincinnati twice, with how they've been the last few years.
Oh yeah, it's
a crowning achievement for Mike Tomlin, 100%. But do you also feel like because he's gotten 17 winning seasons in a row, and you guys don't necessarily get great draft picks, that it's hard to get those franchise guys build off of? You have, you had a Ben Roethlisberger who stuck around for way too long.
Oh yeah,
potentially set you guys back because your struggle to find another franchise quarterback has been a wild ride.
Well, Paul, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it quick, and I know we got to wrap it up. But I don't know about the toughest divisions. Like, I think most divisions are tough if you think about it. You can look at our division. We got two teams that are pretty good, and then you got a third team that's decent, and then you got a team that's shitty. But we all play each other hard, and that's most divisions.
But the AFC, almost every team in the AFC North went to the postseason. All four.
Yeah, single. I think this is the first time in like 90-something years that every team in our division finished above 500.
Yeah, but last year our division did the same thing, except the Commanders. You know what I mean? So like most divisions are hard year in, year out. I think it's dependent on schedule. Because we all play.
Oh, it's every bit.
Each division plays the same. Each division plays the same damn schedule. It's what beast you're coming up against that year. Sorry, Cortez, man. My bad, brother.
All right. Let's rear it back in. All right, let's pick a winner since we went off track there. What's the winner of this game between the Steelers and the Bills? Who y'all got?
Bills.
I got the Bills too. Brad, who you pick?
I'm going with the Buffalo Steelers.
There you go. Way to stay neutral.
That sounds like a chicken sandwich.
As much as I'm going to say Pittsburgh.
Absolutely, you should.
That sounds like a chicken sandwich in New York, a Buffalo Steeler.
Yeah.
There it is. All right, let's move on to this next game, the Dolphins and Chiefs, 8 p.m. This game is on Peacock. Who's going to watch this game?
Me.
You got Peacock?
Yeah, I got Peacock, bro.
I'm going to stream it. I'm going to stream it on something else, but not Peacock.
I'm going to sign up for the free trial.
You know what? I want to get back on and watch Twisted Metal. So Twisted Metal's on Peacock. I need to get back on that. So.
It's like $5, $6, something like that.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal like the game?
Yes. Yeah, the show. The show has season 1. You got Anthony Mackie as the lead actor. It's fantastic, by the way.
And Samoa Joe plays Sweet
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie, yeah. You don't know who Anthony Mackie is? Captain America, Black Captain America? Come on, Tom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Clarence from 8 Mile.
Yeah. Come on.
Papa Doc?
For sure.
Papa
Doc. Yep. There, yeah. But yeah, this is on Peacock, so if you're local, you can watch these games on your regular TV. But as far as everybody else, they can stream it. So,
are you getting a kickback from Peacock?
No,
stop shouting their ass out. Then once they start sponsoring the BIOCP podcast, then you can shout out Beacock.
There we go, Beacock. We'll just pronounce their name wrong.
Exactly, bro.
All right,
Peacock. Let's get a sponsor. Let's go.
Okay. What's the storyline out of this game for you guys? And I'll start with you, Paul. What's one of the storylines coming out of this game for you?
Which one are we even talking about right now? I got sidetracked. Peacock talk.
Oh yeah, Dolphins and Chiefs.
That Tua has never won a game in the cold. Guy's never won a game in cold weather.
He's only played one.
No, he's like 0-4 in his career in cold weather games.
Yeah.
Never won a game in the cold. It's going to be real cold in Kansas City.
It is
-2 or something, or 2 degrees or something like that. Yeah. Cold.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like close to 0. They said it's 0 at first.
Yeah. By that time, I mean, the high is 5.
Jeez.
Yeah. So
that's early in the afternoon. So you got to think nighttime, the wind picks up. You're probably looking
Only person
You're already in the negative. Plus,
only person on Miami that's used to that is Tyreek.
Tyreek. I knew he was gonna say that, and he's the only other wide receiver that's actually probably gonna do some work.
I mean, he's
Waddle's still hurt.
He's gonna be the best player on the field. Obviously, we've seen Kansas City's struggles offensively.
I'm sorry,
but Miami's beat up on the defensive line, and I think Isaiah Pacheco is gonna have a field day on the Miami Dolphin defense. So that's my X factor is going to be Isaiah Pacheco.
Let's see. You said that game is at 8:00.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are looking at -3 at kickoff.
Damn.
It's basically the spread.
Yeah. So I know the Dolphins just lost Bradley Chubb to an injury, so ACL injury. But their rush D has really been good for the year. They held running backs to a 3.8 yard per carry average. So, but as Paul mentioned about Pacheco's got 4.6. So, give him the ladder. That's also one of the key facts that you got to look at that game there. So, your thoughts about what strategy should the Dolphins use? This is cold weather for the Dolphins, but Tom, what's your thoughts with the Dolphins?
Cold weather for anybody, bud.
Yeah, exactly, anybody, but especially a team that's in South Florida. What's your thoughts about what the Dolphins should do?
So like I keep saying, like Tyreek Hill obviously has to get open, which he can, better than probably anybody in the league. But again, man, it goes back to that goddamn run. When it's cold, your quarterback has to get warm enough to throw that goddamn ball. But it's almost like going back to if I can make an analogy, you can tell me if it's bad or not. Once you get to the foul shot line and you start shooting, you start warming up as a shooter. So short chips, handoff, play action. I think that'll kind of warm him up to get his legs moving, to get his body working. You know what I mean? It's going to be cold, and that ball in your hands is not the same, man. Like I've played in cold weather. I'm from Connecticut.
It's a rock.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I don't think I've ever played in those conditions. But he's got to get something to get his offense going. Like he said, Tyreek Hill is probably the only person that's been out there playing in that cold weather. But is Tua going to be able to have that arm or that time to throw it? You know what I mean? Like, so you got to establish those play actions. And you got to establish that run early, man. Like, what can I say, man? Like, you got to. I think that's where you got to get it started, man. You got to get small things started first to see where the game open up.
To your point, Tom, you got to go with Mostert and that chain because these guys are having 4.8 yards per carry, and
exactly
and that chain is having 7.8 in his little short attempts. I know he came back from injury. Chiefs rush defense do allow 4.6 yards per carry, 28th. That's 28th in the league. So that is a weakness that they can attack in this weather and for try to get in the groove. So
and I think that's going to be to your point. That's going to be perfect to the play action, man, because Tua can pull the ball down and run a little bit too. But like you got probably the best threat in the league up top. So I think that's going to work well for them if they can establish the run early, because you can't establish a play action if the run's not going to work. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to be scared of a run threat if it's not working. You know what I mean? You're just going to cover you over top, and then you're just going to get everything.
Yeah. Brad, what was you going to add? I ain't going to cut you off. Go ahead, Brad.
No, I was going to say the same thing Thomas is. You got to establish the run so you can run that play action and break that over the top. But A-Chain's a freak. So they need to get him in the screen game, in the short game. Maybe even let him run a fly route. Let him go wide open down sideline. I don't think there's a linebacker in the league that's going to keep up with him.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. Another thing I want to add for the Chiefs too, their pass defense has been pretty dang good this whole year. 57 sacks. That's second best in the league. And second in quarterback hits. George Karlaftis had 10 sacks, and Chris Jones got 10.5. Tua is 1-5 when he has got sacked 3 times. So if you see more than 3 sacks on Tua, that's pretty much a key success to the game. So talk about Chris Jones and his impact and that D-line, Paul. What you think about the Chiefs' defensive line? That's pretty much really been only one of the main positives for them.
That's
season.
really all they got. They have to get to the quarterback. If they can get to the quarterback and they can disrupt Tua's rhythm, I think they'll be in a good spot. So Chris Jones got to do what Chris Jones does. I know he had a big sack last week and he got his big paycheck because he had to get one more sack for season ended to get paid.
Oh yeah, that
bonus. So he got his little incentive. But guy's one of the premier pass rushers in the league. Let him just do what he does, and just don't let Tua beat you. If they're gonna beat you, let Achane and Mostert beat you. But it's hard to put your money against Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. Chiefs got the experience.
Brad, talk to me about Pat Mahomes. This is a quarterback that's throw 14 interceptions. This is career high form. Why does he look out of sync this year?
I don't know. Every game you watch, he doesn't look comfortable.
Because he doesn't know where to throw it.
Team stinks.
Yeah,
man.
He doesn't have. Yeah, it's not.
He doesn't. Think about it. I'm sorry, Cortez. I don't know who he was asking the question to.
Me, but
my bad. I thought you said
no.
I thought you
The
said
running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He doesn't look as good as he did a couple years ago. I don't know what's going on there. Patrick Mahomes seems off. His accuracy is all over the place. I mean, Travis Kelce isn't having his best year. They've had.
Oh, he's having a great year. Don't worry about Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
he's having a swift year.
I don't know where they rank in pass drops this year, but I would assume it's
number 1.
It up there.
Number 1. They're number 1. Yeah. Their receivers cannot catch the ball for some odd reason.
That's a big thing. They ain't catching passes. So what are they doing? They're running the ball.
That's why the Chiefs have the advantage on Saturday, because their guys can't even catch a cold, so they're fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead, Tom.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cortez.
No, go ahead. Go your point. I was going that. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, but then you got Pacheco that runs like a baby child, but he's pretty damn fast. If you get that boy started, man, again, they're not good against the run. So I think Pacheco is going to be a key factor on obviously Kansas City side, and how you got to figure out how to stop that, man.
Okay, Paul, who's your X factor for the Dolphins? Who's got to really show up for the Dolphins?
I think it's going to be the running back duo of Achane and Mostert. I mean, at this point, for the last couple of weeks, Achane's been carrying the load. I think Mostert was a little hurt, but Achane is dynamic. That guy is a big play threat. Every time he has the ball, he's catching it out of the backfield. He's running, breaking off big runs. He runs fast. He runs hard. And when you're a team that's susceptible to giving up, 4.5, 5 yards a carry, we'll see what happens. But what's his name? McDaniel's there for the Giants or for the Dolphins. He's gonna have to,
for the Giants
reach into the playbook. He says reach into the playbook and just let the playmakers make plays. I think this is one of those games where Tua may not be the playmaker. You're gonna have to rely upon yards after catch. Just get the ball into Tyreek Hill's hands, however you can, whether it's through screens or slants or whatever it is. But you have to just go for the big chunk plays, and if the run's there and you have 2 backs that can average close to 5 yards a carry, similar to what we talked about with Green Bay, you're in a decent position. It's just I don't think Tua's mentally going to be able to handle that weather.
No.
Yeah. My S factor is going to be LeJarrette Sneed, the cornerback. When a quarterback throw his way, they have a 55 passer rating. And he's going to be obviously guarding Tyreek Hill. So most chances if you can just kind of neutralize Tyreek Hill, which is hard to do, or at least try to contain him. Because like Thomas mentioned, he has played in this weather before. So it's not going to bother Tyreek Hill to play in this weather. It's can Tua get him the ball. So with that passing attack, the rush passing attack from the Chiefs to put a lot of pressure on him. If he gets 3 sacks that I mentioned, this game over. So, Tom, who's your S factor for either team?
I'm going with Tua, obviously, because if he settles down and he can cope with his damn weather, there's nobody could stick Tyreek Hill. So if Tua can get comfortable enough to settle down and warm his ass up enough, and he can play a regular game, you already know what time it is. You know what I mean? But then on the other side of the ball, again, like you keep saying, if Pacheco gets hot enough, and you can't stop that, man. Like, that boy runs crazy. Like, there's no way you're stopping him. So, like, I'm gonna just go with 2 X factors on either side of the ball. But like, I'm gonna definitely go with that quarterback on the Dolphins side because he's pretty damn good. Like, I know through the years he's had his problems, but once Tyreek came in the goddamn building, they've been hooking up, and I believe there's nobody that can stop Tyreek. Man, he's too elusive and too fast. And if Tua can warm up to the speed of Tyreek in this weather, it's just gonna be another regular game, bro. I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a close game, though.
Okay, Brad, who you guys S factor before we make a pick?
Mother Nature. Because Kansas City wants to get ready for this kind of temperature, this kind of weather. They can go outside and practice outside.
Yeah.
Get acclimated. How Miami going to get acclimated to -3 degrees?
Turn that bubble cold.
That bubble ain't getting that cold.
Well, go to Kansas City right now.
Have any of us been to negative degree weather? Has any of us experienced that?
Many times.
I experienced it too in Boston, so it sucks.
Yeah.
-1. I about lost my top. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I've never been so cold in my life.
You should have been taking your top off in the first place, Cortez. Showing them titties. God damn. You got money. You ain't got to make money that way.
Yeah, ain't nobody going to be comfortable in that game. Everybody's going to be uncomfortable. Just when you get warmed up, you're going right back to the bench, and you're going to sit. You're going to get cold, and you're going to have to go out there and try and get it started all over again.
Yeah.
Name of the game, brother.
All right, who we got winning?
That's hard, bro. Pause.
I'm a weather man. It's the Chiefs going to win this game. Dolphins Dolphins still need to win that big game, man. Like, this is the opportunity to do it.
Cortez, I'm asking my son. My son is a football prospect over here at East Ridge High School. I'm asking. He's a cornerback. A safety and a wide receiver. I'm gonna ask him, who do you think is gonna win? Dolphins and Kansas City Chiefs.
Dolphins.
Why?
Because it's the underdogs.
What?
Because it's the underdogs.
Get out of here. Never mind. Either way, I just talked to him. Go Eagles.
He's in high school, man. He shouldn't know about underdogs and gambling and stuff.
He had a sandwich in his mouth. God damn. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Back to
man.
He sounded like he had one of those voice changers, and you were trying to hide his identity.
I tried to give him 2 minutes of celebrity, but sorry. Either way, I think I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, man. I'm going with the Chiefs, man. It's just a familiar territory. They always figure out a way to pull it out, and cold weather is gonna be a factor. Patrick Mahomes, you can't count him out in the postseason, like somebody said earlier. And Andy Reid, he's a great coach. I think they just know how to grind games out, whether they're hard or not. Tua is a great quarterback. The Dolphins, the organization is actually on the uprise. Got a young coach. They're really good, but I just think Andy Reid in this in this offense is going to put it to him, man. It's a close game.
Right. Close game. Brad, who you got?
I'm going with Kansas City. I think it's going to be a close game, but this weather screams Kansas City.
Mr. Mack?
Both of these teams have knockdown field goal kickers between Saunders and Butker. So if we got to rely on field goals, they have the confidence on both sides to do that. If it has to be a low scoring game, but I just think Kansas City has the experience and with the weather and everything else, I'm gonna take Kansas City.
Yeah,
Paul Mack, you made a great point, Paul. I didn't even think about that as far as me saying it's a close game. Talking about the kickers, man. Cold weather does make a difference in the inflation of the ball and in the trajectory of the ball. Like, Paul, that's why you make the big bucks.
Shout out to all the kickers out there. Shout out to all the
that
kickers.
ball doesn't sail quite as well in cold weather.
Yeah, that's why Paul makes the big bucks. Cortez, you need to give him a raise.
That's right, man. Chiefs win, and it's unfortunate for me to say that because I can't stand them. But Miami, that weather is not. It's not helping on Miami's side. So I will say this though. Y'all think Pat Mahomes have an interception?
Yeah, I think he has 2.
I think
he's throwing the ball.
I think he's throwing 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get to.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Tom.
I was about to say he's been doing it lately. That's all I was about to say.
Yeah. No, like I say, this is a career high for him. So I'm banking on him turning the ball. So for all my guys that's got parlays going on. So all right. The Browns versus the Texans. This is number 5 Cleveland Browns at number 4 Houston Texans. 4:30 Saturday. Paul, what's the storyline for you come out of these 2 teams?
Probably, both the starting quarterbacks. Joe Flacco was on his couch 6 weeks ago, and now the guy is the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in a playoff game against a rookie on the other side, against C.J. Stroud, who has probably had one of the greatest rookie seasons a quarterback's ever had. They're a young team, young head coach and DeMeco Ryans. You hate to see either one of them lose, honestly. I was hoping the Texans got into the postseason to kind of see what C.J. Stroud's got. I want to kind of see his season keep going because he's doing some magical things for Houston. But the buck might stop here just because the Browns defense is really good. The only thing they have going for him is Joe Flacco tends to turn the ball over a little bit. He probably throws 1 or 2 picks a game on top of his 2 or 3 touchdowns. So for me, yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun one to watch. It's the one I'm eyeballing on Saturday. It's the one I'm looking forward to watching probably the most.
All right, Brad, your storyline for one of these teams. What's your storyline?
I think it's going to be the Cleveland defense. Can that defensive line get after C.J. Stroud? If they can, it's going to be a rough day. If they can't, I think C.J. Stroud might have quite a bit of success against that secondary.
Okay. Mr. Tom, is the storyline for you?
Well, of course, experience has a hand in it, but I don't think so in this game. But it could, whether I'm second guessing myself or not. But Joe Flacco's already been there, done that. Got a ring, got a T-shirt, got all that, hats and all that stuff. C.J. Stroud is coming into this league and he's breaking in, cutting his teeth. And he was just injured, right? He just coming off an injury. I think so, right?
It's funny you just mentioned that because in the Week 16 rematch, he did not play due to a concussion. And
exactly.
The Browns won that game 36-22.
Yeah, he's coming off.
That's the game Cool went off for 265 yards. So
yeah. So we don't know what he's going to do against his team. We don't know how he's going to react in this playoff game. Also, those running backs and on the Browns are pretty good. C.J. Stroud has some weapons, but it all starts with him. You know what I mean? Joe Flacco is just a quarterback that's been there before, but everything else around Joe Flacco has to come together. You know what I mean? C.J. Stroud could kind of make the game himself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So I think C.J. kind of has his glory in this game and kind of shows that Brock Purdy-ness, he reminds me of Brock Purdy, not coming off the bench, but I'm just saying like that kind of like spectacular first year kind of you know, that sprinkle on it. You know what I mean? So I think C.J. Stroud's going to kind of pull it out, you know, in kind of a new fashion. I don't think they're going to go too far if they do win after this. I mean, if they do win this game, but the Browns got a lot of things that need to go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if the Browns don't do certain things, if they don't run the ball well, if Joe Flacco turns the ball over, if he doesn't have a good game where he's going down the field, I think they're going to lose. But C.J. Stroud could put a game together where he could use his feet, he uses his arm, and he's got everybody else around him. And again, they're drinking that Kool-Aid over there in Houston, man. I think they win this first round, man. I think Houston wins.
All right. To add to some of these here, some of the strategy that we can kind of play here with the
the strategies. It's all strategy.
So, for example, Texas O-line gave up 47 sacks. That's 22nd in the league, 22nd best. So they give up a lot of sacks. Myles Garrett has 14 sacks. That defensive lineman putting a lot of pressure, as y'all mentioned. So that's something to look out for too. C.J. Stroud, we all spoken highly of him. He has had a fantastic rookie campaign, but he has struggled against teams of the same build like this as the Ravens and the Saints. Had a subpar 80 passer rating. Now, one thing I do find interesting that if C.J. Stroud was going to have any success, what he should key on is go to his tight end, Dalton Schultz. The Browns allowed a 100 passer rating going to tight ends. So that's a key factor to kind of go in there and watch that tight end, how they run and go in that, because they do get the medium route, and that's the Browns. So if they can't get to C.J. Stroud, that's something to look at too. Paul, anything else that you see as far as strategy-wise? Maybe what the Browns should do to the Texans, or what's your thoughts about that?
Just getting to C.J. Stroud. I think just disrupting C.J. Stroud. Not letting, the Nico Collins of the world, get out there and make big plays. On paper, the Texans offense isn't anything that you look at and go, wow, their offense is great. They have great guys that complement C.J. Stroud. He puts them in good positions to make plays. So I think if you can get to C.J. Stroud on the defensive side, I think that's the X factor is Cleveland's defense against a rookie quarterback in his first playoff game. So that for me is the key, is just getting to C.J. Stroud, making him uncomfortable, hitting him early, hitting him clean, hitting him early. But I think that's where the Browns have the advantage on the defensive side.
Brad, let me talk to you right quick, man. Talk to me about Joe Flacco. He had 300 yards in the last 4 games, 1 interception in each game. So it depends what Joe Flacco they get here. What do you see in Joe Flacco? What can he do to help propel them to victory?
He's just that old vet. I mean, he knows how to read the field. He knows where he's more than likely going with the ball before he even gets it from the center. So he's reading the defense, and he's not trying to force a whole lot. He's just literally taking what he's given and making it work.
Gotcha. Tom, let me talk to you as well. So Nico Collins, their stud wide receiver for the Texans, had almost 1,300 passing yards. But this Brown pass D has cornerbacks such as Martin Emerson and Denzel Ward, and held receivers to a 71-yard pass rating. So what does C.J. Stroud have to do against Martin Emerson and Denzel Ward, this talented secondary that the Browns have?
Well, again, you gotta kind of mix it up. So if you can't show over the top every single crossing routes will probably be the best. And the reason why I say crossing routes is because once you get in the middle of the field, there's no telling where you're going. But also the guys under that have a chance to come over the middle. Your tight end, like you said earlier, has a chance to be open in the middle of the field, because now when you cross it, you have a pocket right there open where your strong safety has to kind of pull up and kind of cover in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a pocket where there's going to be somebody open, and that kind of brings your star wide receiver over, and then you have another. Put it like this: go over the middle. Let your star wide receiver come over the middle and do his own thing. Once he's open, you give him a chance. If not, go back to your checkdowns. Once you cross, you have a little pocket in the middle. Try to chip it over if you can't make it. Don't force it over because they're going to be looking for that. They're going to try to double them. They're going to try to pressure them. They're going to try to do anything on that side. So you got to try to cross these guys up so you can get that man free up top for the long ball. That's just my strategy. Maybe I played too much Madden, or maybe I just seen too much. But you got to give that man a chance. If not, give the other guys under a chance just to get short checks down so you can get these first downs.
Okay, Paul, who's your S factor for the Texans?
For the Texans, I'm gonna go with Nico Collins. Nico Collins can get in the open field, make some catches, make some big plays, yards after catch. That's gonna be the thing. That's CJ Stroud's number one weapon.
Yes.
So if he ain't yakking, then they're in big trouble.
He ain't tacking.
Brad, who is your S factor for the Browns? This is a team that's in your division, so I'm sure you know them well. So who's the Browns' S factor?
I think it's going to be Njoku. I think if they could get him involved in that medium long range, it's going to open everything up for him.
Okay. Tom, who's the S factor for you for the Texans?
For the Texans, of course, man. I'm gonna go back to these quarterbacks, man, because I think in a postseason, like, it has to start with those guys. You know what I mean? Like, and then with the Texans, CJ Stroud is that guy. You know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't start with him, who does it start with? You know what I mean? Like, you have to score the ball. Defense does win championships, but you have to score the ball to get in the goddamn point. I mean, to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And CJ Stroud has the ability to do it and the ability to make plays. So, like, if he ain't there, like you said, the Browns got some boys up top. Like, if CJ Stroud ain't on, you ain't going nowhere.
Absolutely. All right. Well, and the question, who do we got winning? And I start with you, Paul. Who you got winning this game?
Browns. Cleveland Browns.
Brad? Browns. Tom?
I'm going with the Texans.
I mean, I would love to see the Texans win. I would love to see Cleveland get eliminated. That would make me the happiest man in the world.
I'm also going to go with the Browns, too. Just that defense is, as we've been screaming about how generational that defense is.
They got them lockdown boys over the top, like I was just saying. Like he said, they got them lockdown boys over the top.
Listen,
I think
it's one of those defenses that you remember how the Ravens had Trent Dilfer as a starting quarterback?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we might be crazy talking about the Browns here 2-3 weeks from now. I don't know.
I just think CJ's gonna have that spectacular whackula. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's just gonna have that little rookie moment, man.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah, that's another good game. It's gonna be another good game.
Great game. That's gonna be a great game.
That's probably one of the better games.
All right. Guys, thank you. Let's wrap this bad boy up. We're at an hour and 42 minutes.
Jesus.
Football. Yeah. All right. Anything else that we didn't have, man? Football. What? Hey, listen, before we go, what are y'all doing for Super Wild Card, man? Like, talk to me. What y'all got going on? I gotta work, but what are y'all three doing? Paul,
I work all day on Saturday, so I'll get home. I'll get home in time for the Dolphins game, but I'll be watching the other ones while I'm at work.
Didn't hear that either. Me too. Tom, what you doing? What you got going on?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur, so shout out to Child's cleaning and PM property maintenance. So we make our own way. So I'll be working in the day, but then I'll be able to watch and drink while I'm working because I'm the boss. So I'll be watching the game. But I'll be praying for Monday so my Eagles can win.
Are you an entrepreneur sayer? That's what you say?
That's entrepreneur.
No, entrepreneur sayer. You didn't catch that segment?
Entrepreneur.
Okay.
Entrepreneur.
Tom doesn't get the joke. I gotta show him the video one day.
Let all naysayers know.
Let all my naysayers know. Brad, what you got? Brad, what you got going on?
Well, it's a 3-day weekend. My wife just had her birthday yesterday.
Birthday, Amanda. That's right.
So our friend Amber is coming in from Georgia. She's gonna take her down to Tampa for the weekend.
Where you gonna be?
I'll be here.
There's some holes in this house. There's some holes in this house.
No, you see him?
No.
He's like, nope. Hey, he's gonna order some pizza and watch football. That's what he's doing.
That's right.
There's some holes in this house.
Brad's gonna be in the house by himself working on his gritty.
Listen, there's too many cameras in this house.
Paul, you got a purple loaf on?
Brad, why is that trying to get you in trouble?
Scrunchy, bro.
Scrunchy.
I know everybody always try to get me in trouble.
You try to get me in trouble, man. Come on, dog.
My bad, dog. My bad. Brad, my bad.
All right.
Brad's gonna be at home working on his trivia.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
right. I'm gonna be
guys.
looking at my trivia that Steve sends me and see what's wrong so I can try and fix it.
Everything.
There it is. Fantastic. All right, guys. Make sure y'all stay tuned for me and Paul and whoever is going to join us the following week to recap the Super Wild Card weekend.
This podcast door is like the Winslow's house in Family Matters. People just can walk in.
Yeah, man.
So you're trying to say it's wide open, Paul?
Yes, sir. So anytime one of y'all Urkels want to come through.
That's right.
It's a 3-day weekend. It's gonna be fun.
There you go.
Hey, fellas, I just want you guys to tell me what the holiday is.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Dr. Martin Luther the King Day.
Hey, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
That's right. I got three of my black associates taking off, and I got to work. So,
yeah, bro, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do.
Power to the people, man. So,
make it stand, Cortez.
I like my paycheck too much.
Cut it out.
You can follow the podcast at BLC Podcast. You can follow me at @CP. Mr. Matt, give me your information.
On X at @the_Paul_Mac. On Instagram at @thePaulMac520. And yeah, that's that.
Tom, you got any information or no?
Yeah, follow your boy Big Daddy Dangler on Instagram, Big Daddy Dangler on OnlyFans. I got a little special going on. It's $350 right now for the first month. The first person to catch my G string, you can get it mailed to you for $12. Holla at your boy, Paul Mac.
Hey, is that Big Daddy Dangler on Grindr.com too?
On Grindr, back that ass up. .iou.
Oh my God, Brad, no, it's only you good.
It's only illegal if you get caught. It's only illegal if you get caught.
No Twitter as for you. You good, Brad?
No, I ain't on that stuff.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Well, hey, always good to have you guys on. This show is fantastic. So
take my follows and give them to Big Daddy Dangler.
There you go. So you can get the podcast at anchor.fm/Cortez-Paul on Spotify. You can go to our Facebook, as you see down there, Balls Not Court Podcast. YouTube is at BIOC Podcast. Our Instagram is at BIOC Podcast, and our TikTok is also at BIOC Podcast. So as literally as Kevin has said before and Paul has said before, where you listen to it before, where we get the content, that's where you can get it. So once again, thank you guys for listening. Speaking for Mr. Brad Renner, Mr. Tom Childs, Mr. Paul Mack, and Cortez Paul, this is Balls Not Court Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your Super Bowl fun weekend.
He married a whore.